Authorities say Clark picked up his cousin, and the two went to a gas station where they filled up an antifreeze bottle with gasoline before heading to a convenience store where investigators say the suspect bought black clothing, a face mask, and a lighter. The defendant's cousin says they drove to the apartment where he says Clark started the fire and then admitted to him saying, "I just lit the house on fire."
No matter what happens with, the conviction and the arrest, they could never replace the lives that were lost.
Prosecutors say Clark threw out the clothes he was wearing at his grandfather's house. In court, Clark's public defender told the judge that there was no surveillance video of her client committing the crime. She added that although her client has served time in prison for a weapons violation, that he is not violent. Clark does have 2 outstanding warrants for resisting arrest. The court did grant an order of protection for the defendant's ex-girlfriend. Funeral arrangements are still pending for the victims of the fire. Meanwhile, Clark is due back in court July 14th.
You see that, y'all? All because she moved on. And ladies, listen, you can do what you want to do with that pussy. It's yours, but it's just not a good look to be fucking your partner friend. You ever want to bring out the worst in somebody, do that. But it didn't matter who you was fucking, but he probably would have did that. But sometimes when you let your friends get too close to your woman, shit like that happen. They might have been making Google eyes at each other all the time, and he never knew it. It was right under his nose. That's why it hurt so bad. And instead of her brushing the nigga off, first of all, if you at a nigga house and you laying up in the bed with him, you have no business answering the phone call or a text of your fucking ex. Even if you trying to taunt him and do all that, you shouldn't be want to do that type of shit anyway. You know what I mean? That's just not cool. That's not no class, lady. Don't do that. But you done that shit, and look, you got a bunch of people killed, and your ass still here. Listen to what this news said about it.
We begin with this fire that killed 4 people in Chicago's Austin neighborhood last month. Now tonight, a man charged with murder and arson. And now for the first time, we're learning prosecutors believe it was a crime of revenge, all to get back at his ex-girlfriend. Arnold Brennan was in court as the accused killer faced a judge, and these new details were released today for the very first time.
This afternoon, a judge ordered a 23-year-old suspect detained. He faces multiple murder and arson charges. In court, we also learned about a possible motive. The suspect is accused of setting fire to an apartment building after learning his ex-girlfriend was possibly dating his friend.
Devastating.
Okay.
It looks like it was in a war.
A home is destroyed and a family devastated.
They were beautiful. Just gone too soon.
As Reverend George Smith told us earlier this week, he lost 3 cousins, Regina Henry, Destiny Henry, and Regina's 5-year-old son, Jason.
We're banding together.
Brad Cummings, editor of the Voice newspapers, was also killed in the June 26th fire on West North Avenue.
The monster who did this will be brought to justice.
On Wednesday, 23-year-old Montre Clark was arrested in Springfield. He was in Cook County Court on Saturday. Hours before the fire, prosecutors said Clark texted his ex-girlfriend asking whether she was dating his friend. His ex then posted a selfie on social media from his friend's apartment on North Avenue.